Hey guys, welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. So this is a new game that I'll be starting on the channel. It's just came out I think about 1 or 2 weeks ago. Probably about a week and a half ago, probably, I don't know. But yeah, I'll do my best to sort of explain the game for those of you who've never played the game before, and for those of you who have played the game before, if you notice I make a mistake or I don't fully understand something, because it is a new game after all. Feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Anyway, today we're going to be playing as Poland. The aim of this campaign will be to defeat the Germans, of course, because Germany's going to try and eat us. But we don't want that to happen. So yeah, we're going to play the Poland. Regular, and yeah, start. Play as this one. Polish Might UE4. Save and play. Okay, so what are we going to do first? First we're going to group everyone into a single unit and have them go to this line over here. And then we're probably going to choose all our untrained soldiers. I'll do my best to sort of explain things as we go along. Yeah, so we'll select all our soldiers, yep, and we'll have them in a new unit. So this is going to be untrained group, and we'll have them garrison. No, actually no, not garrison there. Garrison there. You don't need to have a leader in charge of that one, because that's going to be my boot camp type thing, my training forces. Okay, we want reconnaissance, entrenchment. The entrenchment guy here to control this front line. And yeah, we'll probably go along with all these slots up here, like notifications here. So research slot. So we have 3 research points available. First point will probably go into basic machine tools. Second slot will go into construction. And third slot we'll put into support weapons. Okay, civilian factories. Civilian factories are basically sort of like currency in the game, as well as they construct all your buildings and infrastructure and your defensive stuff and your port defensive stuff and yeah, all that sort of stuff. And so we're going to build some more civilian factories because they are going to be useful later on. So we'll start with just those 5. 3 military factories. So these are your production lines basically to outfit your soldiers and everything. So infantry equipment is going to be very important. We have 5 available, so we'll probably put 4 into the infantry equipment and chuck 1 other into there, and then we'll just do a couple for future references when we eventually get some more stuff. Dockyards. Probably build some subs. 1, because they're cheaper than destroyers, and 2, subs are always nice. Yeah, that should do for our construction queues. 3, let us so these are sort of ideologies of your nation. So this one is probably your like construction side, so infrastructure stuff. This is your defensive stuff. This is sort of your war ideology, so what improves your land forces. This one improves your air forces. Like ideally you want everything, pretty much. This is navy, and this is your political stances, which is what we're actually going to aim for. So we're going to take this one first up, which is going to give us political power, which is always nice because it gives you bonuses in your tree, which I'll show you in a second. But what we're going to be aiming for is we're going to go for defensive focus next, followed by internationalism, followed by authoritarianism, which will enable us to go to one of these sides, which we're going to choose to go left, and then seek accommodation with USSR. The reason why we're going to be doing this path is it's going to enable us to switch to communism, which right now communism is like nothing. It's 2%. We want more than that, so we can ally the Soviets, because we want the Soviets to help us beat the crap out of the Germans. That's basically the reason we're going to be taking that path. So right now it's saying we have low manpower, because apparently we have low manpower, but it's not a worry for us. We need steel if we want to have any sort of decent production lines. Aluminium, yes. Yeah, we'll do it France. It's saying we need 1 rubber, but as I was saying before, your civilian factories are basically your currency, so you trade 1 for 8. So there's no real need for us to do that for just 1 rubber. Yes, it's going to affect some of our production lines, but I don't think it's really worthwhile to trade a factory for just 1 resource. And know what it's going to be affecting, why, is the fighters, which I'm not really concerned over. We're not going to really have a very strong fighter sort of force anyway. So these are our planes based in this sort of airport. What I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the limit. So as things get constructed, they'll just go straight to there, as well as these guys. But we also don't have closed air support in construction, so it's going to give us a warning going, oh, you haven't, you know, got this in production. I'm just going to be like, yeah, no, it's all good, don't sweat it. Increase this to 300. I really wish they just had like a thing you can just type in, say I want 300. It's a lot quicker than a slide bar, but slide bars, man, everyone loves slide bars. So we'll probably try and play at a decent pace, at least at the start. Oh, actually we'll turn this day and night cycle off, because I know from watching some other people's videos that people have problems with that. They don't like it. So missing equipment production, yes I know. Close air support, we're not going to be producing that anytime soon. Okay, so these guys are basically going to be our guys are going to be training, but hang on. I'm probably just going to get rid of all the cavalry, because the cavalry isn't really that good. We'll keep 2. We'll get rid of the rest. So disbanding them. So you should go and disband them. They'll return the manpower pool. Any of their sort of equipment will be basically sent back to the pool. And yes, we just want to get rid of them. We don't need them. But we will train some more infantry. And oops, what infinite? And we'll just do 2 lines probably to begin with. Have them pop out there and have them go to the purple group. Okay, so while that's all on the way, we'll let the game start running, and I'll try to sort of explain things, I guess. So this is in case you haven't been able to tell, is a World War II simulator. So it's a grand strategy game based in the World War II time, where Hitler basically decides to go screw everyone and attack everyone, and yeah, we don't want to let that happen. And we're probably going to be 3rd or 4th on the chopping board. He'll attack, he'll take Austria first, and then Czechoslovakia, and then we'll probably be the ones to be targeted, or he'll go after Denmark or one of these guys, unfortunately, over here. So before all that happens, we need to do 1, get stronger, 2, ally Soviets, 3, probably eat this land, maybe even land down here, and then just try and pulverize them ourselves, with the Soviets' help, of course. But that's sort of like where we're looking at. The reason why we want to switch to communism and ally Soviets isn't just because the Soviets huge and they're powerful and yeah, we want that type of ally. Right now, we cannot justify war goals. We can't declare war or anything because the tension level isn't at 50%. I don't want to wait till 50% to be able to actually start expanding and getting stronger. So, because of that, we're going to switch to communism so we can actually start doing stuff like that. Plus, you know, it's boring sitting around doing nothing, which we're technically going to be doing for a while. But anyway. So we're going to attempt to switch to communism. Hopefully we don't have a civil war, because I had a civil war breakout in one of my previous games and it was not fun. As we're probably going to see Spain explode anytime soon, so that's a thing. So right now it says like we have 28 factories, right? But we're sending one to trade. We have 17 owned. But then we're losing like 10 to friggin' consumer goods and stuff, or whatever it is. Leaving us with 9 factories where acres trade. Yeah, so we're losing 30%, which is about 9 to consumer goods, 2 to trade. So it's 11 of our civilian factories just poof, gone. That we cannot use, which is annoying. But later on, as you get political points and you start going to war and stuff, you can actually start changing how your economy runs and how your exports are controlled and everything, and that will obviously change all that. But the first thing we're going to be taking will be the Communist Revolutionary. So that will just increase communist support and slowly get this little red party to start growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what we want to see. And we're going to get 120 political power from this the moment it's done, which will be finished in 20 days. So we'll be able to get that guy in no time at all and start on our way to becoming communist. That's about it. And yeah, we're going to piss off Germany, because Germany's going to be like, oh, join us in our hate for all communists. And I'm going to be like, no, communist is good. They're going to hate us, but they'll like us, so it's all good. We're going, like I said, we're going to want to take this land up here and this land down here. It's not very valuable in terms of resources. See, it's very bleak in terms of resources, but I'm just concerned about increasing our manpower and increasing our amounts of factories. And obviously all this land has some factories in, so they'll be beneficial to us. But if we could manage to snipe Czechoslovakia and maybe even Hungary before Germany can attack us, that'd be very nice. Or before Germany can take them, that'd be very nice. Because especially 194 aluminium, that's pretty nice. But steel and oil is going to be very valuable to us. Should be almost done, yes. 3 more days. I could play at a higher speed, but then it'll just be flying past, and it's crazy in the early games. In later games, you can play at max speed, and it just is really slow. So as people do those events like we did, you just start getting these pop-ups. So what Germany did was they did the remilitarization of the Rhineland, which is this demilitarization zone down here. So that's just sort of following history. So that's the benefits to having these sort of national focuses, is it enables, like, you know, historical events to actually happen and sort of guide things, basically, I guess. So they remilitarize the zone, station troops, blah blah blah. It is no more than Germans walking into their own backyards, a political commentary in Britain observed, which is, you know, kind of true. So we have finished our focus, and I kind of wish it would stay over here where I left it, but it always pops over here. I don't like that. But we're going to go for defensive focus next, which is just going to make constructions with like forts and military stuff. Oh, sorry, I was looking in Germany then. Forts and everything beneficial, which forts are really good. Definitely worthwhile having. But yeah. Alright, we can modify the government. I should have done this straight away. We're going to take the communist guy immediately. So we can start turning our country into communist. So it slowly starts to rise, which will be nice. So it goes up by 0.1 every day, which is good. You know, I said they could, you know, start just helping us along, but they're not going to. So one thing we can do is you can actually make different theaters with your troops. We might not bother with that during this game just because we're not going to be like all over the place, but if you're playing something like say France, it can be beneficial because you can have your African force and your South America force and your Indochina, I think this area is referred to as, but you can have the Indochina force over there. It just makes it easier to sort of know where your forces are and which ones you're selecting, but we'll probably just keep it with this one. You can also name the theaters, so we'll call this one German Front. Yeah, so just do that. You can also give them little things with high priority, so I'm pretty sure that just means it'll be at the very top. So there's not a lot you can really do in between wars. You can start preparing and obviously have your force. Actually, that's something I can actually do. We'll give our guys at a offensive line. Most likely never going to actually act on it. But basically this is just like when we go to war, this is the area you're going to want to attack and control. So we're doing that. They'll start getting a plan preparation bonus, which will give them 50% attack abilities basically and all that sort of stuff. Which is the reason why we want these guys trained, because they get 25% modifier, whereas the untrained people get nothing. And if you release them green, which so I can deploy this line because they're fully supplied, but if I did that, they would be getting deployed green. Which if they're green, they take like a negative 25 or negative 50% to their attacking abilities, which you don't really want that. Also, you notice that I have two different types of units here. I have mountaineers and just regular infantry. Mountaineers, as you can imagine, attack mountains and hills and all that sort of stuff better. So they don't take the negative modifiers to attack those sort of areas, basically. You can also later get Marines, which Marines can cross river crossings and stuff like that without having any negative effects. And you even get like parachuters, and you can have them parachute in behind the enemy lines to cut off their supply lines, which supply is basically huge. If you lose supply, your troops will start losing their organization, which is basically their morale. And if they break and they have nowhere to retreat to, then they just disappear. That's how you can really just destroy enemy armies, which is where the cavalry will be kind of useful, because I can use the cavalry to run behind the enemy forces and cut their supply lines. At least this is like sort of, ideally you'd want to do that. Another thing to note, we are gaining... What did I did not exercise. Whoops. So I was supposed to hit exercise, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. But basically exercising will increase army experience daily, which is nice, and also train them up so they're not nudes. I don't know why I didn't hit exercise. I'm an idiot. That's basically it. I'm an idiot. Which, all my sisters would probably agree to. But, yeah, so they'll slowly exercise up and get trained, which is nice. It is going to eat into our, supplies and that, but not by too much. I want to get a decent surplus of support equipment as well. And we have finished that doctrine, or... not doctrine, focus, which is nice. And we're going to go for internationalism. Let's do it. Do it, people. Then after that, we'll take the authoritarianism, however it's pronounced, and we'll start getting nice events to set us towards communism. So that's our research being done. So you'll note here that days saved, so you can actually not assign something and it will just slowly, occur this bonus, which is nice. It's nice that it doesn't like force you to rush into things. So we have a choice here between dispersed industry and concentrated industry. So concentrated industry, basically this factory output is increased by 20%, as well as max factories in the state by 20%, whereas dispersed industry is again max factories in state by 20%, but factory output's only increased by 10%. but it decreases the bomb vulnerability. So that's useful if you think you're going to be attacked by air force, which is highly likely for me, but I'm going to still go concentrate industry just because we don't have a lot of factories and we want to try and pump out as much as possible. Oh, I should have actually done electronic engineering before that one, but never mind, we'll do it now. So that's just basically going to decrease the research time. I don't know why I didn't pick that first. I'm in a rush. I'm not used to recording UE4, not yet anyway. I'll just get rid of that pop-up, that's going to bug me. So yeah, this is basically all we can really do right now. So Forrest said increase the amount of buildings by 20%, so basically all these provinces, so you can only build a certain amount of factories on them. It'll increase some of them. Some of them won't get affected till later on when you research at later levels because they're just so low, especially these two ones. They're probably not going to change, but this one should increase by 1. Maybe one of these ones might increase by 1 as well. But yeah. Fun times. Political power is slowly growing. Question is, what do we take next? Military theorists would be nice. So would one of these two. We'll see. We're not planning to go for war anytime soon, so we don't really need ones that are going to increase our effectiveness in combat. Unless, of course, we, like I said, have a civil war, in which case that would be bad. So, world tension was increased when the Rhineland was demilitarized. Or remilitarized, sorry, not demilitarized. But they'll slowly decay over time, and as set events will cause that to increase, and set events are a lot worse, so it will increase a lot depending on what you do. Even just fabricating claims causes an increase immediately to world tension. So world tension is basically important for democratic states because there's a lot of things that you can't do until tension gets higher. Us being sort of a neutral party as well, that we're affected, as I mentioned before. World tension needs to be at 40% in order to guarantee independence. I think it's less than 40% if you're one of the other nations. I think it's like 25 or 30%. And need 50% to actually justify goals, war goals, which sucks. Okay, so we're not going to be building any military or dockyards anytime soon, so I don't need that one. Probably will go military theorists because it increases experience gain with the army as well as land doctrine time. So that's what we're going to do. I think like starting as Germany, you have like 70 factories, something really high. So that's sort of like the difference between power. Plus they can, I think, 4 or 5 research slots available as well. We don't really need this one because we don't really have much in terms of resources. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably go doctrine. Get that doctrine underway. Which you saw that as 30% increase to plan preparation attack. So I'm pretty sure that's additive, not multiplicative, but depending on specific things, it is either one or the other that I've noticed anyway. So I think these ones are like multiplicative, whereas I think that doctrine is an additive bonus. So what I mean by that is like so originally this is probably 30%. We'll actually check. Unassign them. Okay, so that's at 30% entrenchment. Then we'll assign the entrenchment guy. And it goes up to 39%. So it's a 30% increase of the base value. Whereas the doctrine that we're getting, I'm pretty sure it's going to increase it by 30% flat out, right? So that should increase to 80, I believe. But if it only increases by 15, then I'm a liar and it's actually multiplicative. We'll see. So we got another focus we can set. And again, I wish it would just be over here. So we're going to definitely get this one. This is the way you want to go if you want to be like, part of the democratic side, I'm pretty sure. We don't want to be democratic though. There's no fun in being democracy. Or something like that. Oh, so these guys all finished, so we don't want to leave them in there any longer because that's going to cost us points. So we're going to make them into a new unit, and we're going to make the front line just up here. And they'll move up there. We'll assign probably this guy. So the level of your generals is actually kind of important. Oh. Spain has gone into civil war. Okay, I'll get over that in a second. So basically, skill level increases the attack and defense value, so by 5% of each for each level. And then, of course, these are definitely important. You also notice over the capacity, these two have no capacity, whereas these two have 24 each. So these are generals and these are field marshals. Field marshals don't have a limit, whereas generals do. The negative side to having just everyone in one army is if you're being attacked on multiple fronts and you have like a crap ton of units on a single field marshal type thing, you'll actually start getting negative modifiers to your defensive and offensive roles and stuff like that. And likewise, if you oversaturate your generals, they'll start getting negative modifiers. So yeah, Spain is in civil war. They have the nationalists up here and Republican down here. Nationalists is basically the fascist and Republicans basically the communist. We cannot help either out. So usually you send volunteers here, but we need world tension to be at 40% or be a communist. So we can't do anything. I probably still won't, even if we could. Mainly because I'm not really concerned about how that goes. Soviets should support Republican, and Germany will most likely support nationalists. Italy might support nationalists as well normally. But they probably won't do anything until they finish Ethiopia off, which they still have yet to do that. But that shouldn't take them much longer. Games are concluded. I believe this is factual. I haven't actually double checked it, but I'm pretty sure it is based on the real life events. I haven't actually... But yeah, these numbers from recollection haven't changed at all. So yeah, the games were held. Germany won, basically. And Abe Simpson failed to kill Hitler, if you believe him. That's of course if you watch The Simpsons. If you don't watch The Simpsons, you probably don't have any idea what I'm talking about. So eventually he will finish training up, and we... Oh well, they're not being produced very fast at all. Ugh, that's a pain. That's alright. So, problem with not having all the infantry equipment and everything, obviously, is they're not fighting at their maximum strength, which is unfortunate. We have new technology, however, and we'll probably go with the research time again, because it's just going to benefit us. The faster we get the research started, it will benefit us further down the track, basically. How long have we been going for? Oh, actually, it's almost time to finish up, but yeah, this is going fairly well right now. Well, it's kind of hard not to go well early games because not a lot is happening. Germany is being Germany. So they're going industrial, that's nice because that means they're going down this path. As opposed to, you know, going down this path, which this one is not good for us. No, this one is not good for us. That's where he's like, okay, we're going to beat you up, Poland. We don't want that. Not right now anyway, not just yet. We're not strong enough. Once we start eating up here and down here, we might become strong enough to be able to beat the snot out of Germany though. Especially with Soviets help. Yugoslavia might join Germany, or he might just get eaten by Italy. Or both. I don't know. We're probably not going to win any naval battles, but we'll still do our best to build some navy at least. And that's the alarm. Air superiority probably isn't going to happen, but we'll do our best to like at least, I don't know, give him a bloody nose or something, right? But it's all going to come down to our infantry, and we're going to have to rely on probably artillery in order to force our way through his front lines. So we'll have to get like anti-tank artillery and stuff. But I think I'll end this episode, guys. So if you enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe to keep you up to date on all future content. If you have any suggestions you'd like to make, feel free to put them in the comment section down below. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to answer them to the best of my abilities. Anyway, guys, that's about it for now. So take care. See you later.